My phone buzzed mid-meeting with the mayor, Officer Lopez's text flashing like a siren. Chief, HOA's trying to kick your grandpa out over his chickens. Carol Vance is calling every cop in town. I stared at 19 missed calls from Grandpa Joe, my 84-year-old hero, as Carol, our HOA bully, thought she'd outsmart me while I was away. Not knowing I run the Crestwood PD and had her every move wired. That day in our quiet Oregon suburb. Carol's plot to evict an old vet didn't just flop. It unraveled a real estate scam that'd make your jaw drop, saved Grandpa's home, and showed a neighborhood what happens when you mess with family and the law. I'm Nate Harper, a 38-year-old police chief in Crestwood, a town of 10,000 where I've kept the peace for a decade. But nothing hit harder than protecting my Grandpa Joe, a Korean War vet who's lived at 214 Maple Drive for 45 years. I'm a straight shooter. Give me facts, coffee, and my badge. I'm good, but I play chess, not checkers, especially with folks like Carol, the HOA president who'd been terrorizing our 88-home community since she slimed her way into power 6 months back. Grandpa's 5 chickens, Valor, Mercy, Courage, Faith, and Little Grace, aren't just pets. They're as tied to my late Grandma Rose, who raised hens before he shipped out in '52. Their clucks keep her memory alive, like her voice calling him to supper. But to Carol, they were a ticket to push him out, her eyes on his prime lot for some shady deal. I'd seen her game coming, her fines for wrong flowers, her threats to old folks, so I set a trap, Operation Rooster Shield, knowing she'd pounce when I was out of town. Never guessing my cops were my eyes and ears, or that her calls to 911 were building my case. It all kicked off 3 months ago when Carol twisted HOA Rule 52.4, claiming it banned all poultry, when it really allowed up to 40 birds. Grandpa got 3 letters, each nastier, demanding his chickens go or he'd face eviction. But at 84, his mail piled up unread. His kitchen counter a chaotic shrine to Rose. I tried organizing it, but since she passed 7 years ago, he had his own system, worked fine till Carol showed up. She'd find MS. Clara Evans for her daisies, threatened Mr. Ruiz for fixing kids' bikes, scared old Mr. Hayes with pet limit nonsense. All folks over 70, all on valuable lots. I smelled a rat. And when HOA Treasurer Tom Riley whispered about missing funds at the market, I knew Carol was up to more than chickens. 2 weeks back, I took a San Diego conference gig, 50 minutes away. Baiting her to act, briefing Lopez to log her calls, my notebook mapping every trick she might pull, fake lawyers, forged papers, intimidation. I wrestled with it. Was I bending my badge too far for family? But Grandma Rose's voice echoed, protect the helpless, Nate. So, I planned, waited, and when Lopez's text hit, I knew Carol had walked into my net. I was jawing with the mayor about budgets when Lopez's message stopped me cold. Carol was at Grandpa's with a posse, including a slick-talking lawyer, Dan Holt, demanding his arrest for nuisance chickens. I bolted, uniform in hand, the 50-minute drive stretching like hours, my phone pinging with updates. 23 calls from Grandpa, his voice shaky. Nate. They're after my hens. Lopez reported Carol waving forged eviction papers, claiming emergency powers, Holt spouting fake legal codes, and 6 goons trying to scare an old man and my niece, Lily 9, who was visiting. I gripped the wheel, rage simmering, but my plan held. Lopez and Officer Reed were playing along, body cams rolling, documenting every lie. Carol thought she'd won. Dialing 911 like it was her personal hotline, not knowing every call was a nail in her coffin. My cops are unwitting snitches. Susan Carter, Grandpa's neighbor and a retired librarian, sent a video. Carol shoving Grandpa, Lily clutching Chick Grace, hens squawking as Holt's crew lunged for them. Carol's voice cut through. Hand over those birds, Joe, or this house is mine by next week. Your cop grandson can't touch me. My blood boiled. But Susan's footage, Lopez's wiretap, FBI approved 3 weeks prior, had her dead to rights. Carol's stunt was no chicken chase. She was Goldstone Realty's pawn, a front for Russian mob money laundering, targeting old folks' homes for cheap grabs, flipping them to shell companies. Lopez dropped the bomb en route. The FBI had wired Carol's calls, tracking her to Goldstone's boss, Ivan Petrov, a crook I'd cuffed years back, somehow out early. Tom's tip about $70. 000 and missing HOA fines funneled to Carol's gambling debts, tied her to Goldstone's promise to clear her slate for 60% of Crestwood's lots. I'd missed the depth of it. 3 states, 12 HOAs. Millions washed through real estate. But Carol's push on Grandpa lit the fuse. Susan's video went viral on our community page. HOA bully attacks vet, splitting neighbors. Newbies bought Carol's standards act. Old-timers rallied for Joe. Carol posted a doctored clip, making Grandpa look like the aggressor, captioning, "Dangerous resident assaults president." While Clara countered with the raw truth. Carol's shove, Lily's tears. Carol called a meeting, Holt preaching seizure powers, collecting signatures to boot Grandpa. Not knowing I was 10 minutes out, my trap ready to spring. I pulled into Grandpa's drive, heart pounding, finding him and Lily at the kitchen table, Grace chirping in her hands, Joe's eyes wet. "She wants the house, Nate. Roses, our life." Lily ran to me, "Uncle Nate." She pushed Grandpa. I knelt. "Nobody's taking anything, kiddo. I got this." Carol's voice boomed outside, Joe Harper. "Vacate now or we'll drag you out," with 8 goons, Holt waving fake papers, neighbors gawking. I slipped to the side, uniform on, as Grandpa dialed 911, voice shaky. "They're breaking in, help." Carol cackled. "Call your cop, boy. He's in San Diego. Too late." 5 patrol cars rolled up, lights flashing, Lopez and Reed stepping out, Carol grinning. "Officers, arrest this man, trespassing on HOA land." I emerged, badge gleaming. "Evening. Carol, I'm Chief Nate Harper, and you're trying to evict my grandfather from his home of 45 years. Her face drained. "You're here." I leaned in. "Every call you made, every threat, every lie, we've got it all. My cops, my rules." Holt bolted, Reed cuffing him, as Carol sputtered, "This is entrapment." I held up Susan's video, shoving an old man. "That's assault? Forged papers? Fraud." Then she smirked, "Check his mailbox, Nate. See who's really playing." My gut twisted photos of Grandpa's house. Red X's scrawled, a note. "Sign it over by midnight or lose it all, bigger than me." I pocketed it, threatening my family. "Federal offense, Carol." The crowd swelled, Tom slipping me a USB. Whispering, her accounts, $70,000 stolen, wired to Goldstone. I called my squad on video, 12 officers' faces on screen. "Carol's harassing our elders. She thinks she owns my cops." "But we've wired her for weeks, FBI backed." Lopez grinned, her 911 calls? All taped, assault, fraud, conspiracy. At the community center, 180 neighbors packed in, Carol at the podium. Her video looping Grandpa's attack. I stood. "Got questions, Carol. Why fine 12 seniors for fake rules? Where's the $70,000? Susan projected Carol shaking hands with Goldstone's man, Petrov. "Audio clear. 60% of lots. Your debts vanish." Clara spoke. "My daisies, Harold planted him in '88. Now $4,000 fines." Ruiz rose. "I fix bikes for free kids. Sued for business." Hayes added. "My 2 dogs. Therapy after Ellen died. Now I pick one." Lily's voice cut through. "Grace is a baby. Why hurt her?" Tom plugged in the USB emails of Carol's theft, Goldstone's hit list. "Grandpa's house first." FBI agent Carter stepped in. "Karen Vance, you're under arrest, embezzlement, fraud, conspiracy, racketeering." Carol lunged, tripped over Mercy, sprawling as Lily cheered. "Good hen." Laughter broke the tension, Carter cuffing her, her scream, "Petrov will burn you all, 48 hours, chilling the room. Tom paled, bolting, agents chasing, he knew more. A loose end that haunted me. That night, 1 a.m., FBI SWAT nabbed Petrov's goons rolling into Crestwood, expecting easy prey, finding a federal trap instead. Carol's 48 hours fizzled, our town safe. But Tom's escape not. How deep did he go? 3 months later, Carol faced Judge Larson, orange jumpsuit replacing her HOA swagger, convicted of fraud, conspiracy, money laundering. Sentenced to 7 years at Marion's poultry farm, irony thick as she'd tint hens like Grandpa's. She owed $450,000 restitution. Holt got 200 hours serving seniors. Goldstone's CEO, Petrov. Rejailed for 18 years, their syndicate crumbling, saving 250 homes across 10 states. Carol's prison letter to Grandpa, "I'm sorry," named a Rooster Joe, sparked a pen pal bond. her chicken chores hinting at change. Susan took HOA reins, axing Carol's rules, greenlighting chickens, hosting block parties where Clara's daisies bloomed, Ruiz's bikes rolled, Hayes's dogs napped. Grandpa, a news star, toasted, Rose loved this, neighbors, not rules. Lily's TikTok, Rooster Rumble, went viral, funding legal aid, naming hens after Carol's crimes, swindle, scam, plot, racket. Tiny Mercy the sweetest. I got bumped to State Police Task Force lead, saving 200 more homes. Lopez now Crestwood chief, our town a beacon of fairness. At the one-year bash, roses glowed, kids biked. Chickens roamed, a boy vowed, I'll be a cop like you, saving grandpas. I felt Rose's pride, my badge not bent but burnished, protecting what Carol tried to steal: family, home, heart. That fight wasn't just for Grandpa, it was for every elder, every hen, every kid like Lily. My trap, a legacy of justice over greed. But last month, a flyer hit my box and signed, pushing new lot standards, Carol's Echo or Petrov's Shadow. I started CrestwoodRoots.com. Our tale at 4 million views, stories of HOA fines for flags or pups. Carol's caged, her Tahoe gone. But her kind lingers. What happens when the next bully struts in? Not with chickens, but deeper schemes. How do you keep your home safe when greed creeps back? Drop a comment. Fought an HOA tyrant. Stood for your kin, or seen justice crow? What's your story, and how do we hold our ground? Let's keep these hens clucking, because out here, peace is only as strong as the trap you spring.